We need a whole new gospel? Pastor Jamal Bryant, we don't need a whole new gospel. You might want to go back to the Bible and just study up a little bit. Now let's go ahead and roll that clip and we'll go ahead and react to what he said.
Lack of knowledge. So the stuff that was applicable for your grandmother means nothing to you. And so I said, I had a Zoom with all of my singles just this week, is that for me to tell 16-year-olds to be celibate is one thing. A 37-year-old who's used to getting some, I need a different kind of gospel.
Yeah.
So the church ain't telling me nothing about sex toys. They ain't saying nothing about the church telling me to be celibate, but my gynecologist saying something got to happen down there because your stuff's shutting down.
Yeah.
So we got to have real gospel for grown-ups.
I'm about to go to Newburgh. I'm going to Newburgh for a second.
Pastor Jamal Bryant, we got to use sex toys for Christian singles for the women. That's not going to go over well. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Now, let me go ahead and just bring some basic principles into this conversation. Let's build the foundation. Obviously, God designed this for our benefit. He created man and woman, and man and woman were supposed to get married, become one flesh. That is for our benefit, right? And the reason why that's for our benefit is because when they have kids, the kids see their biological father and their biological mother in the household. What is one of the problems today in our society? Not enough fathers not being in the household. And what happens is if you have a single mother raising her kids, he doesn't have enough exposure to a man on a day-to-day basis. And that creates some challenges for him. What happens when you have the father constantly in his life? Well, the kid is learning how to be a man because the father is present, right? What you have to recognize is it's always for our benefit to have a man and a woman married and the kids to see their biological father and mother growing up because it creates a healthy foundation. Now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and look at what happens when it's just a single woman. As I already alluded to, if a boy's growing up with his mother, the mother will give him traits of, motherly love, and he'll learn the mother side of things, but he'll be lacking in the father side because he needs the masculine energy in him. And if he can't get that on a day-to-day basis from his biological father, and let's just say she's remarried, well, yeah, they might have a relationship, but it's not going to be as powerful as it would be with his biological father. That's just how it's set up. That's how God designed it. Now, again, this is for our benefit. Let's go ahead and just get to the meat and potatoes of the situation. Let's just say a woman decides to actually follow Pastor Jamal Bryant's advice, and she decides to start using sex toys. The first thing that's going to happen is she's going to isolate herself because you're practicing this in private. And what happens is you're not giving yourself an opportunity to go out and meet people. Why? Because you're at home. You're not out actually talking to people, meeting men, potential relationships that we can actually have a relationship and end up being married. Instead, you're at home isolating yourself. God created us for relationships. We have to have relationships. We crave it. But if you're at home on a Friday or Saturday night, missing out on that opportunity, well, it's never going to come to pass because you're just pleasing yourself. The second thing is you're going to start thinking that, hey, maybe I don't need a man. Maybe this is actually going to work out for me. And now you've created a situation where if a man does come into your life, well, you're going to look at everything you've been doing. You're like, well, I don't really need you anymore. I mean, I'm just pleasing myself over here. And that's not a good place to be. The third thing is the fact that you are now releasing dopamine. And that dopamine is saying to you, hey, keep going, because it's a reward system. It's going to say, hey, that was really nice, wasn't it? Why don't you go ahead and use that sex toy again? And now your brain is just saying, hey, go ahead and get a nice release. And again, you're just pleasing yourself, you're fulfilling lustful desires, and you're not out here just trying to meet men. And that's why I think this advice is really dangerous. It's not helpful. It doesn't help women who are in their 30s with kids, or don't have kids. They need to go out and meet people because we are created to have relationships. And again, this is for our benefit. We don't want to be in a situation where if we're constantly pleasing ourselves and not dying to our flesh, it's just only going to create more problems for us. So again, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you in the next video.